Did you know that the simple, squishy caterpillar you see crawling in your garden is on one of the most dangerous and astonishing journeys in nature? Many won't survive. Some will be eaten. Others will be infected. And a few will undergo a transformation so radical it seems like magic. But this isn't fantasy. This is the real-life, secret journey of caterpillars. An epic tale of survival, deception, and rebirth. Stick around, because what you're about to learn will change the way you see these tiny creatures forever. Caterpillars are among the most fascinating yet overlooked creatures on Earth. Often dismissed as simple, leaf-eating insects, their lives are full of drama, danger, and incredible survival tactics. They play a critical role in the ecosystem, serving as a primary food source for many predators while also acting as crucial pollinators in their adult form. But before they can take to the skies as butterflies or moths, they must endure a harrowing journey filled with obstacles few creatures face. In this video, we will take a deep dive into the world of caterpillars, exploring the extreme challenges they face from the moment they hatch to their final struggle to emerge as winged beauties. From microscopic enemies to mind-controlling parasites, their lives are nothing short of a survival thriller. And while some will make it to the end, many will meet a tragic fate long before they ever get the chance to fly. So, what makes caterpillars such incredible survivors? How do they navigate a world filled with predators waiting to snatch them up? And what secrets are hidden inside their cocoons, where a complete transformation takes place? Stay with us as we unravel the truth behind the secret journey of caterpillars. Trust us, you'll never look at these little creatures the same way again. By the end of this video, you'll gain a newfound appreciation for these tiny warriors and the remarkable evolutionary adaptations that have allowed them to persist for millions of years. This is a story of persistence, cunning, and ultimate transformation, and you won't want to miss a second of it. Our journey begins before the caterpillar even takes its first breath. Hidden within these tiny eggs lies a fragile life, waiting to hatch. But even before breaking free, these unborn creatures are in danger. Predators like ants and parasitic wasps seek them out, piercing the eggs before they hatch. And if that wasn't enough, some eggs dry out under the scorching sun or fall victim to mold. Imagine being trapped inside an egg, completely vulnerable to the world outside. No means of defense, no way to escape if danger comes knocking. Some eggs are laid in clusters, offering safety in numbers, while others are placed individually to avoid detection. However, no strategy is foolproof. Birds, lizards, and even tiny insects can wipe out an entire clutch before a single caterpillar ever gets the chance to see the world. For the lucky ones that do hatch, the real struggle begins. Emerging as tiny, defenseless larvae, their first instinct is to eat, because in the world of caterpillars, size means survival. They immediately begin consuming their eggshells, which are rich in nutrients, before moving on to devouring the leaf they were laid on. But what if they hatch on the wrong leaf? The perilous journey to find the right food source could be their first and final adventure. As they start growing, caterpillars are thrust into a brutal world where danger lurks at every corner. Their soft bodies make them easy prey for birds, spiders, and even other insects. Some caterpillars, like the monarch, have an advantage. They hatch on plants that provide toxins, making them unpalatable to predators. But for most, the only strategy is to grow fast, hide well, and hope for the best. Survival at this stage is a game of chance. Out of hundreds of eggs laid by a single butterfly, only a fraction will make it past this first hurdle. The rest? They become an essential part of the food chain, fueling the circle of life. It's a harsh start, but for those who make it through, even greater challenges lie ahead. Caterpillars may seem soft and helpless, but don't be fooled. These creatures have developed some of the most insane defense strategies in the animal kingdom. Some, like the spicebush swallowtail, disguise themselves as snakes, terrifying predators into leaving them alone. Others release toxic chemicals that make them taste so foul, predators spit them out instantly. Then, there are the ultimate deceivers, species like the large blue butterfly caterpillar, which tricks ants into adopting it by mimicking the smell of their larvae. The ants take it underground, feeding and protecting it, never realizing they've been fooled by an imposter. These evolutionary adaptations are essential, because in a world filled with hungry predators, The only way to make it to the next stage is to outsmart death. Some caterpillars go even further, evolving to look like bird droppings to avoid detection. Others have eye spots that give the illusion of a much larger animal staring back at their predator. The hawk moth caterpillar, for example, can puff up its body and even mimic the movements of a snake, scaring away potential threats. Toxins are another powerful weapon. The well-known monarch caterpillar feeds exclusively on milkweed, a plant that contains cardiac glycosides, chemicals that make them toxic to predators. Even after they transform into butterflies, these toxins remain in their system, continuing to protect them from being eaten. Predators quickly learn that a bright-colored caterpillar often means danger. While these defense mechanisms are impressive, they are not foolproof. The world is full of specialized hunters that have evolved alongside their prey. Some birds have learned to remove the toxic parts of a caterpillar before eating it. Others, like parasitoid wasps, bypass external defenses altogether by injecting their eggs directly inside a caterpillar's body. And this brings us to the next terrifying chapter in the caterpillar's journey. A nightmare scenario straight out of science fiction. But even the best disguises can't protect caterpillars from an enemy more terrifying than any bird or lizard: parasites. Some wasps have evolved to inject their eggs directly into caterpillars, turning their bodies into living incubators. The caterpillar continues eating and growing, unaware that inside, tiny wasp larvae are feeding on its insides. When the larvae finally burst out, the caterpillar's journey ends in horror. Parasitic wasps are among the most ruthless killers in nature. They don't just attack caterpillars, they take control of them. Some species, like the Glyptopantles wasp, lay dozens of eggs inside a single caterpillar. As the larvae grow, they manipulate their host's behavior. Before emerging, they force the caterpillar to stop moving and defend them like a zombie bodyguard. The caterpillar remains in this state, fiercely protecting the parasite's pupae, until it eventually starves to death. It's a horrifying form of mind control straight out of a nightmare. But wasps aren't the only parasites that turn caterpillars into victims. Some species fall prey to deadly fungi that hijack their nervous system. The fungus infects the caterpillar's body, forcing it to climb to an elevated spot before killing it. Once dead, the fungus erupts from the caterpillar's body, releasing spores to spread the infection further. This zombie-like takeover ensures the fungus reaches as many new hosts as possible, dooming countless caterpillars in the process. Even some bacteria and viruses play a role in the deadly game of parasitism. The nucleopolyhedra virus, for example, infects caterpillars and causes their bodies to liquefy into a viral soup. Other caterpillars then unknowingly consume the remains, spreading the virus further. The infected caterpillars even exhibit unusual behaviors, climbing high before dying, ensuring their bodies explode over a larger area, perfect for maximum infection. With threats coming from every direction, caterpillars live in a constant state of danger. Even if they survive predators, disease, and parasites, they are not safe yet. The most mysterious and physically demanding stage of their journey is still ahead: the transformation inside the chrysalis, where many new dangers await. For those who survive long enough, the final challenge awaits: the most bizarre and mysterious transformation in the natural world. When the time comes, a caterpillar stops eating and finds a safe place to attach itself. Then, in a moment that still baffles scientists, it sheds its old skin and reveals the chrysalis or cocoon beneath. But this is no ordinary change. Inside the chrysalis, the caterpillar's body doesn't simply grow wings. It completely dissolves into a genetic soup. Every organ, muscle, and tissue breaks down into a liquid-like state, leaving only a few specialized cells intact. These cells, called imaginal discs, contain the blueprint for the adult butterfly or moth. From this strange biological sludge, a brand new creature is built from scratch. Yet even inside the safety of the chrysalis, danger is never far away. Some cocoons become the target of predators like birds, rodents, and even other insects. A wasp may inject its eggs into the chrysalis, ensuring its larvae feed on the developing butterfly before it ever emerges. Other cocoons dry out due to sudden weather changes, and some caterpillars experience genetic malfunctions, making it impossible for them to complete their transformation. The metamorphosis itself is one of the greatest mysteries in science. How does a caterpillar, with no wings and a completely different body structure, turn into a butterfly with complex flight mechanics? How does it retain some memory from its previous life, despite undergoing total reconstruction? Scientists are still trying to answer these questions, but one thing is certain: this process is one of the most miraculous feats in nature. But even after all this effort, the struggle is not over. The final and most critical challenge is about to begin: the moment of emergence. After weeks, or even months, of being trapped inside, the butterfly must break free from its fragile prison. And for some, this last step will be the hardest one of all. After weeks of transformation, the butterfly is finally ready to emerge. But this is no simple task. Trapped inside its hardened shell, it must push and struggle to break free. This process is exhausting, and many do not survive. But for those that make it, their final form is not yet complete. When a butterfly first emerges, its wings are soft, crumpled, and completely useless. It must immediately pump fluid from its body into its wings, expanding them to their full size. If this step is not done quickly, the wings will remain deformed, and the butterfly will never be able to fly. Every second matters, and failure is not an option. Even now, danger is everywhere. Predators lurk nearby, waiting for an easy meal. Birds, lizards, and even ants take advantage of this vulnerable moment, attacking before the butterfly has a chance to take off. Some butterflies never make it past this stage, falling victim to nature just as they were about to claim their wings. For those that do survive, their reward is freedom. With their wings finally dry and strong, they take their first flight, a moment that is both breathtaking and vital. Their new goal? Find a mate and continue the cycle. Female butterflies will lay hundreds of eggs, and from those eggs, new caterpillars will begin their perilous journey once again. But the odds remain cruel. Of the hundreds of eggs laid, only a handful will ever live long enough to spread their wings. It's a journey of transformation, deception, and survival that few truly understand. But now, you do. And the next time you see a butterfly, remember the secret war it fought to get there. So, the next time you see a caterpillar inching along a leaf, know that you are witnessing a tiny warrior on a deadly journey. A journey of metamorphosis that has remained unchanged for millions of years. And remember, not all will survive, but for those that do, they will emerge into one of the most beautiful creatures on Earth. Caterpillars are more than just larvae. They are survival machines, master deceivers, and nature's most extreme transformers. Their story is one of struggle, endurance, and resilience, proving that even the smallest creatures are capable of extraordinary feats. From their fragile beginnings to their stunning conclusion, their journey is nothing short of miraculous. And yet, despite their astonishing abilities, caterpillars remain some of the most overlooked creatures in the natural world. People admire butterflies but rarely think about the journey that came before. Now that you know their story, perhaps you'll see them differently. Perhaps you'll pause to appreciate the incredible transformation that happens in plain sight. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the secret world of caterpillars, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. There's so much more to discover, and you won't want to miss what's coming next.